Okay, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mangg. Today, we're going to be playing this little game called Rimworld. So yeah, this is sort of random, I guess. This game's been out for a while. Hold on. Let's see when this game originally was released. October 17, 2018 was probably the day it left early access. It's probably in early access for a while. So yeah, it's certainly not a new game. It's already got a couple expansions that you can buy. Royalty and ideology. But anyways, just moving on. So Rimworld. It's based on the Steam description here, a sci-fi colony sim driven by an intelligent AI storyteller. Generates stories by simulating psychology, ecology, gunplay, melee combat, climate, biomes, diplomacy, interpersonal relationships, art, medicine, trade, and more. And it has over 90,000 reviews with an overwhelmingly positive rating. I've played this game for about 2 hours so far. I've watched about 2 videos on it, and we're gonna play it. We're gonna start up a new colony and just kind of see how it goes as I kind of learn a little bit more and tell you the basics of what I know. Yeah, so I slept on this game for quite a while. I'd known it existed for, you know, years. And everyone, whenever they mention it, it's always mentioned as like this game that you just get lost in, you get obsessed with, and you play for thousands of hours. The reason that I never looked that close into it was because I thought that it was basically like the same game as Factorio, which was not a game I was that crazy about. I thought it was just about like automation, and it was just like another sort of engine building kind of game, but no, it is not. I mean, there's automation involved in a sense, but it's not about producing goods. I mean, you're basically like, it's a colony simulator. Yeah, you're creating a colony on this planet and dealing with these events and circumstances and scenarios and things like that. And yeah, it's, I mean, at least the 2 hours that I've played so far are very interesting. So I think it's best if we just dive in and go. The other thing that's very exciting to me, if you know me, is the mod support on the Steam Workshop. If we open up here the workshop for this game, over 19, almost 20,000 mods available for this game. That excites me greatly. But the base game is good enough for us right now. So first up, when you make a new colony, you have to pick one of your 4 scenarios. You could edit your own, you can, you know, download other people's edits, but these are the basic ones that determine sort of how you start. The most basic one, classic one, is crash landed. So you're 3 survivors that have crash landed on this planet, in your escape pods, or, you know, it doesn't matter where you, whatever. And so this means that you come with a bunch of stuff. You come with 50 packaged survival meals, 30 boxes of medicines, you know, components, some guns, some armor, some money, some wood for some reason. And across your starting little area, there's a lot more steel and stuff like that. This also means that your characters, they come with some advanced knowledge. They already know about electricity, and they can already immediately make things using electricity. They can make a generator, like, immediately, you know? Whereas if you pick the Lost Tribe scenario, where you are literally just a tribe living on this planet, and there's only 5 of you, you start off with basically no technology whatsoever, and you have to work your way up. So it's a much more difficult start. The Rich Explorer is especially difficult because you're just one guy. You're very advanced. You start with knowledge of how to make gun turrets and stuff, and you have like the highest end medicine and a bunch of money and a charge rifle, but there's only one of you. And as you'll see, teamwork makes the dream work. And so naked brutality is insane because you're one guy, naked and alone. You have nothing, and you're just by yourself. So, alright, Crash Land, that's what we're doing. Then we get to pick our AI storyteller. So this is basically the AI, in quotation marks, that is going to be throwing there's going to be throwing events at us as the game goes on. There's going to be sort of randomized events. So Cassandra Classic is the OG sort of one where as you develop, she's going to throw sort of increasingly difficult stuff at you, and then there'll be this crescendo where basically all the shit goes wrong all at once, and then it'll die back down for a while. And so it's just like this sort of wave form of ups and downs of peace and then disaster and so on. Phoebe Chillax is a little bit more relaxed. Gives you a lot of time between those high points, but then those high points can just, you know, be just as disastrous. And then Randy Random is entirely random. You could just have a string of non-stop disasters, or you could have just nothing for a long time. You know, it's random. So yeah, we're gonna do Cassandra Classic. Then you get to pick your difficulty. Peaceful disables a lot of the major direct threats for minimal pressure. Community Builder is for new players such as ourselves. Adventure Story is like the normal difficulty, hard difficulty, very hard, and then like absurd. And you can make your own custom difficulty. So we're gonna go with Community Builder. And then you can choose if you want to be able to save scum or not. I don't know what happens if you don't choose either one, but yeah, yeah. Okay. Then our World Seed. Let's put in a seed of Mangg. You can choose how much of the planet it generates, because you're not in a, you know, an X-Wing. You're not going to be flying around the planet or anything like that. So you really don't need much of the planet generated. So it defaults to only 30%. You can adjust how much rainfall, you know, the planet gets, the temperature of the planet in general, and the overall population of the planet. We're leaving everything on default. You can adjust how many different factions there are of each type. And like the sort of peaceful places where you can trade, the pirates, the savage tribes, and then there's these more sort of alien horribleness. There you go. So now it's gonna generate our planet. There we have it. We get to pick where our little colony is starting. Base, as it were. So this is 30% of this planet generated. And you can go anywhere. You can go anywhere you want. You want to go all the way up in the fucking sea ice area where there's nothing, and there's absolutely nothing, and it's horrible. You can. You can go in the tundra. You can go in the mountains in the tundra. You can go in the boreal forest, in the temperate forest, in the desert. In the arid shrubland, the tropical swamp, you know, wherever you want to go. Temperate forest is sort of the beginner recommended area with the least complications. So we want to go in the temperate forest. we want to go... water doesn't really matter, I don't think. I haven't read... I mean, again, I'm very new. But, like, thirst is not a factor. It's just food. So, you don't have to worry about being, like, next to a drinking source or anything like that. You can see... there's mountainous regions in the temperate forest for some reason. An impassable region of mountains. There's some large hills, there's some small hills. And the reason why we might want to go in the hills is because there's more mineable stuff. So this has granite, slate, and limestone, whereas this area just has granite and sandstone. So, you know. And then we also want to look at our neighbors, because, you know, pretty much you're always going to be near something for the most part. And we could sort of isolate ourselves over here, but having peaceful neighbors can be pretty good because they'll pop by, or you can head over to them and do some trading, because they might have some shit you don't have and vice versa. So, here, this is a hostile faction. Here's a hostile faction. This is a neutral one. So yellows are neutral tribes. What you really want is one of those purple areas. This one. Backgammon City. So this is a nice civilized area that is neutral with us and won't kill us. So probably want to look in this region. This has marble and slate. You also, you know, you're looking at average temperatures. How high does it get? The growing period. So this has, I think this has a longer growing period from what I'm reading. If there's things to forage, if animals can graze there, stuff like that. I think this is kind of good. I don't know. From what I know, it seems alright. Let's go with it. That'll show you all the sort of factions in the vicinity and how much they hate you. So, yeah, you're always going to have some hostiles somewhere in the vicinity, but they're pretty far, so I don't know. We're fine. Okay. Then we get to pick our 3 characters, our 3 survivors. It's a lot to take in here. Alright, so it shows you their gender, their age. It shows their biological age, and then their chronological age. Because remember, they were in cryosleep for a while. I don't know why these people would be have different... I mean, this lady has been in existence for 888 years. It's crazy. But I don't think that really matters. Then it shows you what they were like as a child, and so this modifies some of their skills, gives them some traits, and maybe they're incapable of doing some actions, and then it shows you what their occupation was as an adult. So this woman was a ranger child raised in a forest, so this gives her +2 to shooting, -2 to mining, +2 to cooking, and +4 with animals. But she can't fight fires for some reason. She can't grow things, which seems wrong. Oh, well, I guess... Is she an elf? She can't cut plants? She was raised in a forest? I don't know how it all works, but anyways. So, that's that. And then as an adult, she became a bush sniper. So she's really fucking good at shooting. She's really good with animals. Yeah, you know, but she can't be a doctor. She can't. She's killed too many people. Killed too many people. She can't administer care to them. So she's incapable of caring, and firefighting, and plant work. She has a fascination with chemicals, so she's gonna be a drug addict. She's a careful shooter, so it takes her longer to aim, but when she does, she's accurate. And she's ugly. People don't like ugly people. So then you see her list of skills as modified by, you know, these things. You see she's really good at shooting, she's really good with animals, but she's also good at cooking animals and other things. And then you see any injury she's had throughout her life. So she's got asthma, minor, in both her lungs. She has a bite scar that's painful on her torso. And her right leg was both shot and bitten. This is not a great character. We're not going to take this character. For one, you don't want someone that can't fight fires, because that can easily just be the end of everything if all you have is one person and they can't fight fires. Not being able to grow plants is fine, but not being able to care for people, again, is pretty shitty if she's the only one around. Becoming a drug addict is not great. And having this many injuries to start is not great. At least from what I understand. What we're shooting for is this section down here with team skills. We want this to be all around somewhat balanced. So you can see of our 3 characters here, not one of them has any medical knowledge whatsoever. And that's not great. We're also useless pretty much with construction. We've got some shooters, but really that's just this character who I don't want. So, okay, let's move down the list. Hubler, he's an undergrounder, so she'll never feel cooped up or get cabin fever. That's pretty good. But she's greedy, so she needs an impressive bedroom. Otherwise, she gets a mood loss. She's very good at social. Very social. And she's smart. But if all you're good at is talking and being smart, basically you're just Tyrion Lannister. And I'm afraid we don't need a Tyrion Lannister in our survival situation. Bowen is incapable of being intellectual. Perfect. So that just means you can't research things, which is not a deal breaker. Also can't do art. Not a deal breaker. Chemical interest, though, so again, more likely to become a drug addict, and a gourmand, so they'll become hungry quickly, and will eat ravenously even when not hungry. This makes her better at cooking. I don't know why. Those things are not mutually, you know, sort of inclusive. Liking to eat food doesn't make you good at cooking. But anyways, yeah, so she's a bit more all-rounded. But she does have an old gunshot wound. Okay, Tanner is a bodyguard. He's incapable of being social, so he can't be a prison warden. He's also a misogynist. So he hates women, of course. And he has a bloodlust. So he's 4 times as likely to start a social fight as others. This is basically a problem man. And he has a bad back because he's 56 fucking years old. But he is a bruiser, no doubt about that. And he could take care of animals. Maybe. It depends on if I end up with all women or if I end up with no women or not. Because really, I mean, misogynist and bloodlust, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to be trouble. Ward is a builder. He is also a misogynist, so I guess if we get a bunch of misogynists together, it could work. Yeah, but he's tough. He's extremely hard to kill. He's got some decent combat skills, and he's really fucking good at build. I mean, this guy can build his ass off, but he is 65 years old. The bite scar is not terrible, but he has no cooking skill, no plant skill. He's decent with animals. He's not too bad at thinking. Some medical knowledge. I guess. But again, the misogynist thing. And I'm not sure if Tanner is that great. Chief is an herbalist. He's just permanently happy. That's awesome. But he tends to crack under pressure. Alright, so it doesn't take much. And he's jealous, so he can't have someone else with a nicer bedroom than he does. He's really artistic, which is not great at the start, at least. But he's got medical knowledge, and he can craft stuff, and he's good with plants, so that's not bad. He's mostly useless in combat, but aside from that, not terrible. Nuovo is a medical doctor, though. She's incapable of being violent, so she can't hunt anything. She's a quick sleeper, so that's nice. And she's nimble, so more likely to dodge and melee. She's got a couple scars, but she is damn good at being a doctor. Yeah. Yeah, okay. And Scratch. Incapable of caring, incapable of being social, incapable of firefighting, but she's a pretty careful shooter. Yeah, not great. Alright, so we're not stuck with only these 8, of course. We can randomize to our heart's content until we get some stuff that we like. They tell you not to go crazy. They tell you not to just sit here and randomize until you get the perfect crew, because, you know, flawed people make it more interesting. Stench. She's a miner. My god, can Stench mine? She's a fucking depressive psychopath. No empathy. He's perennially unhappy. And he's slothful. Yeah, I don't think so. Red Harper. He's incapable of being violent. You don't really want anybody incapable of being violent. It's a harsh world, man. Arthur Ward is staggeringly ugly. His face looks like a cross between a drawing by an untalented child, a malformed fetus, and a jar of formaldehyde, and a piece of modern art. But he's a tortured artist. God, he's like the fucking Phantom of the Opera. Useless at construction, useless at mining, but he can cook, he's good with plants, he's decent with animals, he can craft, not bad with medicine, and he's smart, he's a smart cookie. He's just fucking staggeringly ugly. And his son is Spartak Ward, and they like each other. Oh no, his Ward doesn't like him. Well, of course not, he's fucking staggeringly ugly. Alright, let's bring him in. Okay, so we're lacking in mining mostly. Could bring in Matthew Kubler. Makes us pretty good at construction, but yeah, combat. This would not be good for combat. All we'd have is Ward. So yeah, I don't think so. Let me just randomize a bit more. Looking for a character decent with combat and could mine it if it came to that. And preferably a man because, you know, misogyny. Okay, Meko is a female. No, no, no. No. Again, I don't want to spend too much time here, like they said, but... Oh, fucking female. I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world to have one woman, I guess. So let me... Jesus. Brick shithouse. Uh-huh. Come on, that's all I'm looking for is mining and, like, melee or shooting. Oh, there you go. Berenja Dane. She's incapable of caring and being social. But she's kind. Alright. Yeah, it makes our Ward is the only one that can shoot guns with any skill. But 3's not the end of the world. Our mining is still not great, but... And who's our doctor, man? Oh yeah, Arthur. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Okay. So, of course, we can pause the game at any time. No need to worry about that. And this is our starting area, this big square region. It is, you know, it looks all very completely flat, but these are actually sort of mountain hill stuff that we can mine out. You can see there's some ruins with even like a steel table there. Some more ruins. There'll be plants and trees all around we can harvest. There'll be animals. Here's a whole pack of muffalos and a turkey. Uh-huh. Jade. Okay. You know. Just observing. Alright. And so we crash landed with all these supplies next to us. The first thing we want to get equipped. Oh, we also have a cat with us. Chorizo. A male cat, age 4. So you're given, yeah, a random pet. It could be a cat, could be a dog, could be a monkey. Probably could be some other things. Those are the only things I've seen. We want to get ourselves equipped. So, Ward is our shooter. He's got the shooting skill, so we're gonna give him the bolt action rifle. Artur has 3, so we're gonna give him the revolver. And Veer is our melee god, so he will get the knife. So how Rimworld works, it is sort of automated. It's kind of like The Sims. You can, like, command Sims to do things directly, you know, if you want. You don't directly control the Sims with, like, WASD, you know, stuff like that. But you can directly command them if you want. Otherwise, they sort of do their whatever, you know, they do their thing based on priorities. And so that's how this game works, is all of your characters can have different priorities. So if you do normal priorities, they work off this chart from left to right. So all the way on the left is firefight. So if they have this checked and there's a fire, they will drop everything to go fight the fire, because that's the highest priority. If there isn't a fire, but they are ill or they need medical treatment and they have this checked, then they'll pretty much drop everything to go into like a medical bed and lay down and stuff. Then you have doctor. This is administering treatment to the sick. Bed rest. This is just normal every night rest. You can untick that if you want, but yeah. Then basic stuff. This is just like easy, simple tasks, flicking switches on machines and stuff. I mean, you're always gonna have that tick. Warden is managing prisoners if you have any. So they'll, you know, treating someone is more important on this sort of column, on this chart, than, you know, feeding a prisoner. You see how left to right. Handling is for training animals, handling animals, cooking food, hunting, obviously construction, growing plants, mining, cutting plants, smithing, tailoring, creating art, crafting stuff, hauling goods from place to place, cleaning the floors and cleaning blood and stuff. And then finally, all the way on the right is just researching. So that's lowest priority if they have that ticket. If they have nothing else to do, and they don't have their own whims of what they want to do, they will research. So that's normal priority. You can tick this over to manual priority, in which case it's just like 1, 2, 3, or 4, and you can just set what you want to be their priorities. So we of course want firefight to be, I mean, this all, they laid it out like this for a reason. Right. So you want all this to be 1s. This is all just like, absolutely, we want them to do this. Most important. Now, Arthur is set at 1 for doctoring because he's fucking good at it. Veer, you can see we can't even tick it because he refuses because of his jailbird backstory. Ward can do it, he's just not very good at it. He's okay. So we're gonna set that at 2, which basically means that if someone needs to be doctored and Arthur is not available for whatever reason, such as he's the one that needs to be doctored, then Ward will step in. Yeah, Warden, that can be 1 or 2, either way. Handling, handling is taming, training, harvesting resources from slaughtering animals. We can set that at 2. Cooking. Yeah, Veer's really good at cooking. We can set that at 1. It still works left to right. So we have a lot of 1s, but it still works left to right if there's a conflict. So they will still drop everything to fight a fire. Set this at a 2. Hunting. He's pretty good at hunting, so he'll be hunting. I don't think anyone else really needs to hunt. We're not going to be that desperate for hunting. God, the game gets really loud, doesn't it? Just let me fucking talk. Alright, construction. Ward is our big man construction guy with a 12. But we don't want him to do all the work, and we want other characters to get better. So we're gonna set Veer at a 2 priority on that one. Arthur is 70 years old, he's not gonna be doing any construction. What he will be doing, of course, is fucking growing. And Veer is also really good at growing. So set them both at 1. No, set him at 2. And set him at, like, 2. Cutting plants, 1, 2. Smithing, 2. 3. Yeah, they both can do it. We could leave all this off for right now completely because we're not gonna be doing any of that stuff. Hauling. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's fine. It's probably not perfect, but I'm learning. Okay, so We have all their priorities set now, so that's how their minds will think when deciding what action to do at any given moment. So we need to build. We need a shelter. We need beds for the night. Now, if we had one of these ruined areas closer to our start here, we could just build inside of this. I guess we could wander over there. The thing is, like, we have to move all this shit over there. It's not the end of the world, I guess. And this is a nice, somewhat already built up area. So, okay. Let's start then by just... So how we move shit. We got all this stuff scattered around. First of all, we need to... There's this little red X, which means that none of our characters will interact with it in any way. So we have to click on it and unassign or make it allowable. Allow them to interact with it. There we go. And there's some shit scattered around, but that should be fine. Then, if we want them to move it somewhere, we need to create a stockpile zone. So this is just an area designated on the ground somewhere where we declare that, hey, we're going to be storing goods at this spot. Move them in there if they're not in there. So now, if we go to normal speed, first they're grabbing equipment, those guns and this knife that I told them to, and then they're going to begin hauling, except for Arthur, who is vomiting for some reason. Oh, he has crypto sleep sickness. Oh, and so does Veer. Okay, Ward is... Yeah, he also... Okay, they all have this. It's understandable. But, you know, they're busy little bees. They don't take time to ponder their surroundings. They fucking get to work. Alright, so they're gonna just march back and forth along with Chorizo here. And they're just gonna carry all the goods into this stockpile zone. So we can then fast forward a little bit to watch them. You can see that outdoor right now it is 50 degrees Fahrenheit. I apologize if you're only familiar with Celsius. All I can tell you is that 55 is chilly. I wouldn't say cold, I would say chilly. So it's not a warm day. It's also 10H, which I assume means it's like 10 a.m. So we got some time before we need our beds built, and it's warming up. 62, 63, 64. It's becoming just a nice spring day on this planet. He's cloud watching. Perfect. And we've got some roaming ibex rams. Some ibex. Alright, so now we can start assigning some construction orders here. We want to build this out so we can put a roof on it. Right now, if we toggle visibility of roofs, this place is unroofed. All that we need to do to get a roof on it is just fill in all the walls. So we can make wooden walls, steel walls, or silver walls. We can literally make walls out of the currency of this world, silver. We could... Yeah, we might as well go with wood, I guess. This is slate, so this is stone walls, basically. And what do we have? Oh, we have guinea pigs. We should tame some guinea pigs. Alright, we're just gonna fill this in. Like so. Not sure if I wanna... Let's take down this center wall here. Alright, so there's a construction order. So our construction man, which is Ward, who is cloud watching. Okay. They won't always do exactly what you tell them. You know, they gotta take care of themselves. So he needed to take a break to cloud watch. But it's getting up there in hours. 6 p.m. It's taking a long time to cut down this tree in our way. And we can mark this one to be cut down as well. We will claim this. Well, I don't know if there's a faster way to do this or not. Doesn't seem so. Claim this. We'll claim this. Claim this. Claim the doors, of course. Does it say what the specifics are? No, it doesn't really tell you what the specifics are of claiming, but it seems like something I should do. Because this is my new home, goddammit. Alright, I think that means they'll start repairing it and stuff. Because if we go into zone and we go to expand home area, see that now this is designated as our home area because this is, we have claimed property here. Alright, so continuing on, now that it's fully walled in, they are building roofs. See there, now we have a roofed building. Okay. It's very dark in here though. So we're just going to put a campfire just in the middle there. We're gonna do better than that soon, but for now it's fine. And we need to get some beds going. You can just designate a sleeping spot, but that's way less comfortable than an actual bed. So we'll put a bed there, put a bed there, put a bed there. We'll space them out a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I'd really prefer him to finish building and you to... I guess he won't actually... I can't command him to go sleep in this. I think you can set an owner? Who's that? Ward? Okay, but I could wake his ass up somehow, right? Could order him to eat a meal. Oh, there we go. Because if they don't sleep in a bed, they get a debuff to their mood. So I'd rather avoid that. Okay, that was the first day. It's 82 degrees in here. It's pretty warm, probably due to the fire. And we don't have a table, so we're gonna wanna... Let's get rid of these pillars. We don't need those. These columns. And, oh, we do have a table. Let's reinstall the table. We're going to rebuild it. And let's... What is it? A steel sarcophagus. Let's deconstruct. That's a little morbid. Let's put some stools around the table. All right. And now they can eat some meals at a table. They're socializing. It's all good. Ward repick up that gun. Okay, so we need a recreation activity. Keep their minds sane. So just a wooden horseshoe pin serve the job nicely for now. Yeah, okay. All right. And we do have, you know, a decent number of meals here. And we got a decent amount of medicine, but you can see that it's going to start deteriorating because it's not under a roof and it's outdoors. So we could just what you can do if you don't want to actually make the whole storage room, you can just extend your roof area off of your house. I don't know how much you can do. I have to remove that oak tree, but you could do that, and then you just make this your storage area, so at least it doesn't deteriorate as quickly. But really, we probably want to make an actual, like, shed or warehouse. And the reason for that is because we eventually want to be able to cool that room. We want to turn it into a fridge or a freezer so that we can refrigerate, like, meat that we hunt. Because if you don't, you know, refrigerate your meat, it spoils pretty quickly. We also are probably going to want a stove. We can start cooking meals and stuff. We're also going to want to start growing some stuff. So ideally, we'd find a patch of like really fertile soil, which is right here, rich soil. It's hard to tell. This is rich soil. And then this goes into, yeah, so this is all rich soil here. This darker patch. Okay, so we're gonna want to make that our growing area. Make that a growing area. Yeah, with that, yeah, that's fine. We're only gonna be growing one crop to start, so we don't need separate areas. So now this growing area, we don't need seeds or anything like that. We can just pick what we want to make. So we can make useless shit like dandelions. I'm sure they have some use, but not right now. If you have a guy with a lot of skill, which I think we do, I think Archer is pretty darn skilled. 12. You can make like heal root, which lets you make herbal medicines. We could also make strawberry, which is all right. Potatoes, corn. Really, we want rice. Rice is pretty good to start. So, Archer is going to be sowing some rice seeds, or however it works. I don't know. And we're going to get some rice going, so that's good. As for our storage shed, we could probably just extend off of our existing house here. So let's make a steel wall. It's a little narrow. Not a steel door. God! Steel wall. Just do that. That seems fine. And we do need to put in a door. So there you go. So Archer is planting rice. And these guys are... Yep, we constructed our little storage shed. So, we're going to declare that as a stockpile zone. So we're actually going to have 2 stockpile zones. But this one is specifically for stuff that's going to deteriorate if it's left outside. The steel is not going to deteriorate. We want the food and the medicine, really. The wood also deteriorates, but we're going to be using that quickly. And we can throw the pants in there as well. So in this menu, you can pick what you want stored in each area. So we want food. And we want manufactured stuff. We want apparel. That's pretty much it. Corpses, I guess, if we had them, sure. And then we want to go over here and untick those things that we just did. So we don't want it stored here. We want it stored over there. Now you could also do this by just making this a higher priority storage shed. So then for each of those things we checked, they would see, okay, this is higher priority, so it gets moved over there if there's a room. Manufactured foods. Done. So now they should start eventually to move over. Yep. There it goes. That's good. Now, at some point, we're going to want to build them each their own, like, little home. But for now, I think they're okay. We could finish putting in flooring. That's something that we could do. They have granite tile in here, which is a little... Whoops. It's a little grandiose for what I'm going to be capable of. Best I could put in is concrete or wood. I hate to waste wood on such a frivolous project as flooring in my sort of starter home. But that's also a lot of steel. Now that's like a few stacks of steel. So I don't think floor is going to be an immediate priority here. Let's see. What am I interested in? We do want to set up a generator because we can, and electricity is useful. So we're gonna sort of want to get that going. We could start taming some guinea pigs if we really cared. But they give 31 meat. And they have a market value of 150 bucks. So we could, you could raise them, you could breed them and sell them to traders if you wanted. So let me find a bigger animal. See how much meat like a buffalo gives. 336. I mean, obviously a guinea pig's not going to be much meat. We could just hunt them for meat, but that seems really... I mean, I would do it if we were desperate, but we're not desperate, so I don't feel right about it. We could tame raccoons. What are they worth? 100 bucks. They're worth less. Well, of course, because who the fuck wants a raccoon compared to a guinea pig? A cat. A cat's only worth 100 bucks? What? They must be abundant. Guinea pigs are this rare pet. Yeah, there's 2 males here. Oh, there's a female. We could breed them. We could breed them and sell, make a fortune off these guinea pigs. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. So we're gonna build a fenced-in area over here. don't know how big we need. I mean, this seems pretty big. Okay, and then we need a pen marker. Make it out of steel. So that'll designate it as a pen for animals. Says it's very small and could hold 2.9 chickens. Well, it's got to be able to hold like 8 guinea pigs then. Alright, so once that's built, then we can mark these guinea pigs to be tamed. And then Ward and Veer can maybe start to work to tame them. God, so slow at cutting down trees. Oh, and we should really mark some things. So if you go to order, harvest, we can just have... There's nothing to harvest in this vicinity. But there is a lot of trees to chop down. And if you're not doing anything else, you should be chopping down some fucking trees. We're gonna need a lot more wood. Okay. So now we can mark these to be tamed. And they will try their best to actually tame them. Maybe not right away, because it's getting late, but they'll get them. Don't worry. They'll get them. Chorizo's sleeping over there. We gotta designate a fucking pet sleeping area. Or we just make a bed. Oh, I don't have any... I can't make a bed. Oh, I can make a box. Alright, we'll make a box. There you go. There you go, for the little chorizo. We need defenses. Yes, yes we do. Pirate raids will start soon. Alright, we're also gonna build our generator. Generators can supply power to an immediate vicinity around them, but you can also connect them with these conduits and sort of just it's not like a super complicated system. Nothing in this game is that complicated of a system by itself, which is nice. So let's just put it there. And so this is it required steel and some of these rare components that we have. And it's wood fired, so it needs to be refilled with wood every once in a while, which they should. Yep, he's doing it. Okay, and then now that it's running, we can make some lamps. And those will be just automatically connected, and they will be on. And then this we can deconstruct now. Rice it's growing. I mean, it's certainly growing. We need a meal source. Yeah, so this isn't much rice. We should probably think about hunting something just to have some meat that we can cool now. So we're gonna have who is it? Ward? We're gonna have Ward. Yeah, Ward's gonna be hunting. So we need to turn this into a refrigerator. So that's what these coolers are for. 90 steel, 3 components. And you can build these, you know, wherever you want, connected to power. And you can rotate them because one end is going to be cooling, and then the other end is the exhaust, which is warm. So this cools this room down and pumps the heat out, or, you know, shoots the heat out the other side out into the air. If you rotate it this way, that would warm the room, although not especially effectively. There are better ways to warm a room. But you could do something like this if you really wanted, where you cool down your refrigerator, but you warmed up this main room. If you were in a colder, like a slightly colder climate, maybe you might do that. If the ambient temperature of that other room was not cold enough, but you could use a little extra heating. I mean, you can do this. And you can build multiple coolers to really keep a room cool if it gets especially hot. But for right now, for this size, we should be fine. Okay, I was a little optimistic there. So let's mine this. And we should build those defenses. So we could put up traps. We sure could. We could put up barricades. And I think we're going to, because we don't have any cloth. Even though I should have started with cloth. Probably scattered somewhere on this map. Here's some more meals that got scattered. Grab those when they get a chance. More meals scattered. Here's some more steel. Next to the boomalopes. More steel. Yep. I don't know. I thought you get cloth, but maybe I'm losing my mind. Yeah. It's fine. We'll just build barricades. So really, we just want a defensible position. This isn't, this isn't gonna keep anyone out or anything like that. It's just a place for us to take cover behind when the raiders come. We can shoot at them from behind cover. So, we just need some on, like, both sides. So if they come from this side, we can take cover there. If they come from the other side, we got some cover there. This is like the most basic defenses possible, but it's something. I realize I'm gone over an hour already. Time fucking flies when you're playing this game, man. I'll tell you what. But yeah, it's exciting. I don't know how many episodes of this we're gonna do. I don't know how far we're gonna get. I'm sure disaster will strike eventually, and I'll lose all hope and we'll give up. But for now, things are looking up. There are guinea pig money to be made. My name is Mangg. Game watching has been Rimworld. See you fine folks in the next part.